Okay guys, you can just read through the top here again. It's just all the revision of the rules like we've done before. You can only add like terms when they have the same variable base with the same exponents. So let's just look at the examples together then. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Okay, so I can say then at number 1a, all of them are like terms, all are a's to the power of 1. So therefore, if I add them together, it gives me 8a minus 1a is 7a as a final answer. Then in number b, remember, BEDMAS, we times before we add or subtract. So there's a times and a times that I have to simplify before I subtract. And we'll first have to see whether they are like terms as well. So 4a times 2 is 8a. So we're simplifying that term. Minus 5a times 2 is 10a. And 8a minus 10a is negative 2a. And there we have it. And we could subtract them because obviously they are like terms, both a to the power of 1. In the next one, we have to do a simplification over here first, thereby negative and then brackets 2a minus 4b minus 2c, where there's a negative 1 in front of the brackets, and the brackets indicate that you should times that negative 1 by each term inside the brackets. So the 3a plus 2b minus c stays the same for now. And then minus 1 times 2 is negative 2a. And negative 1 times negative 4b is positive 4b. And then lastly, negative 1 times negative 2c is positive 2c. And so we carry on and see whether we have any like terms. The a's are like terms. The b's are like terms. And the c's are like terms. So we simplified them each. And that would be our final answer for our simplified expression. So for the a's, 3a minus 2a gives you 1a. You can write 1a, but the correct way in which we write it is just a, which indicates 1a to the power of 1. Then for the b terms, 2b, positive 2b, and positive 4b. So 2b plus 4b is 6b. So we write plus 6b because it's positive 6b. And then in the c terms, I've got negative c, which basically means negative 1c. Let me just insert that there for you. So negative 1c plus 2c, negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. So we have to write positive 1. You can write the 1 if you'd like, c. But the correct way, just once again, is just to write plus c. Page, we have to do some substitution. We did substitution yesterday, revision the day before yesterday actually. So now this is just basic revision of substituting into an expression. Just quickly, so that would be, if it's 3a, we go see a is negative 3 when we go back to the question. So it would be 3 times negative 3, and that gives you negative 9. For b, it's 4 times b, so it's 4 times 2 in that case, which is 8. For c, it is a times b times c, so a. So remember now, each variable has the value inserted in brackets, which would in the end means we're timesing or multiplying it. So it's a, which is negative 3, times 2 times 1, a times b times c. And then we just times from left to right. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, and negative 6 times 1 stays negative 6. Okay, in D, it's 3 times a times b, 3ab, so 3 for the first term, times negative 3 times b's value 2, plus a times b times c, a negative 3 times b 2 times c 1. And now we simplify each term. We get the answer to each. And remember, in each term we multiply left to right. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 for this part. And then negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. Plus negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 times 1 stays negative 6. Now remember, if you have a positive negative, it becomes negative. So in actuality, this becomes negative 18 minus 6 more, which gives you negative 24. Okay, in E, we have a plus b times b plus c. So a is negative 3 plus b is 2 in brackets for the a plus b brackets, and then the b plus c brackets, which is 2 plus 1. We insert that, and then we continue on to the calculation in each bracket, because brackets in big maths is first. So -3 plus 2 is -1, and that should be multiplied by the answer of the other brackets. 2 plus 1 is 3, and then you can multiply them together. -1 times 3 is -3. In F, it's a plus c squared. We have to substitute the a as -3 plus c, which is +1, and that answer should be squared. So first we need to get the answer of what's inside the bracket. So -3 plus 1 is -2, and that is what's squared. -2 squared means -2 times -2, and that is +4. In G, it's a's value is multiplied by the difference between b and c. So -3 in the place of a times 2 minus 1. And so -3 is multiplied by, we first have to simplify what's in the brackets, 2 minus 1, which is 1. And that's quite simple. Then -3 times 1 is -3. Okay. Then H is a plus 2b minus 4c, a as in -3, plus 2 times b, which is 2, minus 4 times c, which is 1. So -3 plus 2 times 2 is 4. Simplify each of the terms. Minus 4 times 1 is 4. So these are additive inverses. If you just remind of what additive inverses are, the answer to an additive inverses would be 0. So that gives you 0, and only -3 is then the answer. Then we have a divided by the sum of b and c, and that's a as in -3 divided by b plus c, 2 plus 1 in the denominator. So that gives you -3 divided by 3 if you add the 2 and the 1 in the denominator. And if you divide -3 by 3, the answer is -1. Okay, so you can have a look at activity 8.1, questions 1 and 2. Have a lovely day.